Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Righteous Force, Paul Hall, 10th Man, Arwin, Chocolate Sane, and a whole bunch of people in Discord, so welcome one and all.
Greetings.
Howdy.
Good morning.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Any signs of a physical geometric sphere edge, formerly known as Earth curve?
Not from Earth.
Oh, it's there
Maybe
some
you can
days
see it
and
from the sky
others
back.
not.
Say again, Nathan's Apprentice?
Like there's pictures, apparently of it, but it's there one day, then it changes the next.
Always there in the model.
We live on a bouncy ball. Awesome.
Yeah,
It's the wobbly Earth.
we'll get to it next then. So, any evidence of the R value? Earth radius?
Not since the Black Swan.
I love how you're
Breathe out
whispering
when you
it
say
and
that.
at the same time overloading the mic and distorting it. That's quite a feat.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
the R
Black
value,
Swan.
right?
Into a loud chocolate.
So we're all aware of the Black Swan. So check out Quantum Eraser channel. He went through the Black Swan argument. It's 6 months old now, so it came out 1st Jan 2020, and since then it's done nothing but demolish and destroy the heliocentric paradigm. There is no rebuttal to the Black Swan. There is a requirement, as per their geometry, with the assertion that we have a physical horizon blocking boats and buildings, and that physical geometric sphere edge horizon is based on their R value. There's no getting away from this. They derived the R value by way of the horizon with Al-Biruni. That's how they got it in the first place. Now, the horizon is not a physical location, certainly not a geometric edge, and this is being conceded and admitted at the moment by their side. That would be the globe Earth side of this argument. Most recently, Bob the Science Guy, also known as Bob the Fallacy Guy, a participant on this show. He joins the show, he's been on the show, he's debated here. Nevertheless, Bob's recent video about me debating Rumpus makes it plain. They all concede that they do not have a geometric horizon. Well, you're going to need one. It's in your model marked with an X labelled horizon, and your refraction value, 7/6R, is based on it. It's got an R in it. So you're going to need geometric horizons and tangents, not donkey dick tangents with straight lines being bent by refraction that's based on the R value. So it's game over globe. Let's just make this absolutely plain. There is no rebuttal to the Black Swan. If the horizon's refracted, it's not geometric. And geometric it must be if you're going to assert that it's blocking boats and buildings, as per your religion of a sphere Earth with a edge for a horizon. Your edge, globe edge. Any evidence of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
No.
What's the only one's the ring laser gyro, but that's very iffy and non-scientific.
Oh, I use that as a hostile witness. So the ring laser gyro or fibre optic gyro, when used as a globe Earth proof, would assert that you are watching a deviation at 15 degrees an hour because the Earth rotates underneath the gyro. But the gyro's not really moving, it's fixed in space, that's what gyros do. But the deviation that you see isn't an actual deviation. The gyro can't deviate, that's one of its principles. So it's not deviating. The apparent deviation that you see is because they claim Earth is rotating underneath the gyro, because it's not attached to the non-inertial spinning reference frame they claim Earth is. So because the gyro's not attached to the Earth that's spinning underneath, it shows 15 degrees an hour deviation. However, if Earth is spinning underneath a gyroscope or a pendulum or anything, then anything that's not in or on the non-inertial spinning reference frame of a claim to be ball Earth that turns would also deviate at 15 degrees an hour. Now that would imply that to see things like aeroplanes drifting at 15 degrees an hour from your observation on the ground, i.e. you look up in the sky and see a plane and it seems to be curving, it's not actually curving, it's just like the gyro, it's an apparent deviation according to them. And the reason you'd see this apparent deviation from the plane is because according to them you're turning underneath it, making it seem to curve. But if you're seeing an apparent deviation in a plane because it's got the Earth rotating underneath, that would shorten flight times. So if the gyro's assertion that it's showing 15 degrees an hour of the Earth turning underneath, then Earth's turning underneath aeroplanes and shortening their flight times. But that simply doesn't happen. The Earth is not turning underneath an aeroplane. Therefore it can't be turning underneath the gyroscope. Earth is not turning. If it was, we'd see apparent deflection. We'd see Coriolis deviation. They say we do. But we don't.
Because, if it happens with the ring laser gyro, then, it should happen with hot air balloons and planes.
Indeed. You'd take off in a hot air balloon, and a different continent would just come to you as you float in the air, because you're not attached to a spinning reference frame of a claim to be ball Earth that spins. And it's claimed that that reference frame of a ball Earth that spins underneath things that aren't attached to it, like gyros and pendulums, and aeroplanes, and drones, and hot air balloons. Of course, none of those things that are in the air for any significant period of time actually show any drift at all, ever, and flight times are not reduced, and continents don't come to hot air balloons as they hover. Drones don't drift away from their position, they just hover.
Oh, Nathan, that's the conservation of momentum. You're such a moron.
That's nothing to do with Coriolis effect. Coriolis effect isn't anything to do with conserving momentum, it's an apparent deviation. Momentum's not involved. You seeing a plane seem to curve has nothing to do with its momentum, and everything to do with you claim to be spinning underneath it. As I say, you seeing that apparent drift would be because it's claimed Earth's rotating underneath. Nothing to do with momentum being conserved.
But we wouldn't expect to see any apparent drift, Nathan, because the conservation of momentum negates that, Nathan. You're such an idiot.
Well, then you wouldn't have a proof of Earth turning. Conservation of momentum doesn't prove Earth turns. Coriolis effect is claimed.
We just can't tell. We just can't tell.
Well, then you can't prove it. You need Coriolis effect to prove Earth is spinning, not justify why we don't see it with conservation of angular or linear momentum. Those two things are not a deviation from the ground because you're spinning underneath stuff. That's not Coriolis. That's what you need to prove it spins. Not justify why we don't have it. Our argument is we don't have Coriolis as you claim we should if you're on the ball. And you saying, well, we wouldn't see it because it's just backing up my claim that we don't see it. And you're agreeing. Yeah. We don't see it then. We don't see proof Earth spins with Coriolis deviation then.
See, that's the point where I can't actually play ball Earther anymore, because that's the point where they've got to concede, but they never will, and they'll always weasel out of it and confuse matters and obfuscate the point. But they can't get out of it. If they don't see apparent drift from the Earth's perspective, then the Earth cannot be turning. And they argue all the reasons why they don't see it, but they should be arguing for the reasons why they do see it, but we don't actually see it. And that's the problem.
Well,
according to Neil deGrasse Tyson, all you got to do is kick a field goal.
Yeah, because the Earth turns underneath that, but not underneath planes.
Right.
If Earth turns underneath pendulums, gyroscopes, footballs and bullets, as asserted, to prove Earth is spinning, we see apparent drift, then we need to see apparent drift to prove Earth's turning. Because we don't see apparent drift in things like drones, aeroplanes, helicopters, It's then justified at trench level here in the debate by the globe side why we don't see drift, the very thing that's supposed to be proving we're spinning. So it's a justification for not seeing it. Not very good. Shout out to... can't read that. Bear with me a second. I've got somebody at my front door.
But see, Zanuck and them still say that we have it wrong and we don't understand Coriolis.
Well, they have to.
Yeah, I know.
They have
I know,
to.
But yeah,
it's
Well,
like-
they can't say.
Whilst Nathan's answering the door, let me share with you a really bizarre scenario that I had last night with Kosho over on Emma UK's channel. There's going to be a repeat of this because it was glorious. Basically,
Do
Kosho,
tell.
I call him cosine because Kosho and cosine sound similar. And he brought up an answer to a query from 12 months ago. And to be honest, I can't actually remember what the query was originally, but it was something to do with how he applied cosine. And back then I said that was wrong. Now, he cut 12 months down the line, which was yesterday. He brought this back, or it was brought up, and we went back to it. And I couldn't actually remember what the original fault was or the original claim, but I remember he did something wrong. So he obviously remembered it, and he had it stored in his little data bank in his mind. And he brought it back up, and he flipped it on me, and he says, "Here we go, this is it." And I looked at it, and I was like, "Kosho, you've still got it wrong." I said, "That's the wrong way round." I said, "Hang on, let me just double check this." So I went over a little bit of like high school trig. And I said, "Kosho, you've got the sine and the cosine in the wrong place." I said, "You've got them in the opposite place there. That's wrong." So I knew he was wrong. So I called the Rumpus in to correct the mistake because I thought Rumpus should call out Kosho here and say, "Kosho, you've got this wrong." So Rumpus comes in, and we had a triangle on screen, and we had it all set up the way that would be needed to be addressed by Rumpus. And rather than address the express triangle that was on screen, Rumpus wanted to tell us that the implied triangle that wasn't drawn, that wasn't on screen, that we weren't asking about, that would be correct. And I said, "But Rumpus, we're not talking about the implied triangle that's not even there. We're talking about the express triangle that is there, that's the wrong way around. Can you address that and correct it?" And he wouldn't do it. So rather than correct his friend, Rumpus dishonestly argued that, well, if we go with the implied triangle, then his diagram would be correct, which by expression means his diagram's wrong, because we're not asking about the indirect triangle, the inferred triangle. We're asking about the express triangle that was drawn on screen that he got wrong. So basically, Rumpus was arguing for dishonesty rather than correct his friend that had made a mistake. Now, when I make a mistake and I get the wrong focal and I do a video about it, I've got to put my hands up and say, "Do you know what? I got that wrong. And I deserve the jibs for it because I made a mistake." And we all get it wrong periodically. Nathan's got his stuff in the wrong in the past, and we've all done it, right? We all make mistakes. You've got to hold your hands up and say, "Do you know what? I made a mistake." But he wouldn't do it. And rather than Rumpus correct the mistake that he made, which is the honest thing that Rumpus needed to do, Rumpus found a little bit of wiggle room, exaggerated that wiggle room, and then tried to argue that he was more wrong than right, but there was a little bit of truth in his diagram, which was not even the point we were asking him to clarify. It was some other red herring point that was completely off topic that we didn't want the answer to. We wanted the answer to the question that we were asking. Rumpus would not correct his friend. He would rather defend his friend and stop his friend from looking like an idiot than tell the truth. And when you've got people that are on their side that won't ever make any concessions ever, what kind of conversation can we have? Yet if I misspeak, or if I'd get a plus instead of a minus or whatever, I become dumb fuck of the year. But it never happens against them. It's disgusting. How can these ballers be honest and have any conversation when they won't be honest? Bad. I'm done.
Quick shout
They
out
can't.
to 9LX, who says, "Sleeping Warrior, your lunch is ready."
So it's intellectual
Is it the sub sandwich?
I think it's somebody trying to dox him by way of super chat, actually.
Was that some kind of joke? I didn't even get that.
Yeah, it's another sub sandwich. You know, your subs.
Yeah, somebody's put in what they think is your address as their name, and then super chatting £2 with "Let Sleeping Warrior know his lunch is ready."
Oh, right. Oh, well, get them to deliver it to me, and let's see if the doorbell rings.
Yeah, you picked the wrong topic, man. Saying that you've got a free lunch for Sleeping Warrior, that's just going to get him excited.
Yeah.
So about those subs that you bought, Sleeping Warrior.
Yeah.
I'm just preempting and hopefully free money. So super chat me to talk about it for the last week.
I knew you were doing that, but go on. This is gonna be good.
So how do we poke the bear to get super chats? I did not have sexual relations with that service. That was a classic line.
That's because I
I
bought
could
it
see
up in the
Nathan picking
delivery.
his way through the spelling of that, working out what.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what you were saying, but it's just a made-up word. But
yeah.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's hard to do it when it's speaking for myself as well, but I'm going to this time because you're actually here. You and I aren't that way inclined in terms of buying subs to boost your own ego about how popular you are or aren't. You know, that's just
I realise that it's not a popularity contest in this topic. You're not going to be friends with everybody because some people can't take no for an answer. They can't take disagreement, and it's not about being popular. But if you think that it's about being popular, then subs are going to matter to you. But subs have never mattered to me. I'm not monetized. I don't have any obvious beneficial gains to buying subs. But if you want to think that I bought subs, keep sending the super chats and we'll keep reading them. I'm sure Nathan will be grateful.
My timing. See, even the people who do these things, right? They're so predictable. So the guy was obviously typing out that super chat while I was saying that, because there it is, right on time. Bleeding Warrior, Sleeping Warrior bought his subs and likes 100%. Thanks very much for the super chat, Bleeding Warrior.
Shout out to Rude Earther.
I agree with you in terms of partially agree with you, because I am here for popularity. I want to be a successful YouTuber, so I absolutely want people to subscribe to me. Subscribe today. What I don't want people to do is subscribe with a sock account, because that just skews my stats. I don't want to know about random accounts that people subscribe to me with. That just balls up my statistics. It means I haven't got a better idea of what's going on and what I can do, what's successful, what isn't successful, what's generating more interest, what isn't. That's what I need. And you can't do that with fake subs. Now, I know Anthony's not interested in the stats. He's literally not even interested in the stats, so why would he be interested in buying subs? If he's not fixated on the stats. Now, while I am interested in the stats, I'm interested in the watch time stat, because that's what YouTube are interested in. That's how I'll get more successful on this platform, by keeping my watch time minutes as high as possible. Not subscribers. They don't give a crap. YouTube don't care if you've got 10 million subscribers. If you don't get any views, if you don't get actually people watching, and that's all accounted for in watch time minutes. If you watch any tutorials about what YouTube want and how they want you to produce it, they want you to have your viewership sitting in front of their website as long as humanly possible. It's all about watch time, not subscribers. That's just purely people's own vanity. People who want to be perceived as more popular than they actually are. And while I want to be more popular, I don't want to be perceived to be more popular. That's useless. Another super chat from Bleeding Warrior. Yes/no, Sleeping Warrior, did you buy your subs? ? He's off getting his free lunch.
Too worried about fake subs and not worried about the loss of their geometric horizon. It's very sad to see them showing their pain.
We're glad you're here, Chocolate. Yeah, meanwhile, we do not have a physical geometric sphere edge for a horizon, as required in the geometric globe Earth model that you reify. But yeah, let's worry about whether or not Sleeping Warriors bought some subscribers, because that's critical information, that is. That's really, really pertinent.
Any evidence of a molten iron core?
No, the most preposterous question there is.
Any evidence that Sleeping Warrior bought subs?
That's a good point. Show me the receipt. Show me an invoice for subs. Then I'll believe you.
And not one. Show me subsequent receipts.
Right. Same goes for when people claim this Shills, right? I joke about it. I'll occasionally call people a J-trig, normally just to trigger the audience, which is a bit unfair. But by the same token, there's no proof of any of this. Babs's research and other people who've done the same, Infinite Plane Society is another one that discusses J-trigs and shows you his evidence. I think he's even had somebody discuss it firsthand. Infinite Plane Society, that is. I could be mistaken. Nevertheless, there's no evidence for it. You're not going to prove to me that Rumpus is a J-trig. No one's going to do that. Now, does that say he's not, or he is? No, I'm not. I don't know. But no one's providing any evidence to prove that these quote-unquote shills are paid agents of the state here to smear the truth. Now, that definitely happens. That is definitely going to be happening. But can we prove who it is? No. Likewise, this guy in the super chat, much as I appreciate the support, times are tough, he's got no evidence that Sleeping Warrior's done anything untoward. And it's totally off topic. It's just a distraction from the fact that we're obliterating the sphere Earth model and its lack of an R value.
Nathan,
Yes?
why would they take abuse day after day if they're not getting paid?
I don't have a crystal ball. I can't divine people's motivation. I can't do that. Neither can you. Neither can anybody. You can't divine these people's motivation. Are they being paid to be here? Maybe. Prove it to me, though. Don't just speculate based on the fact that they're here day in, day out. If you're a religious fundamentalist zealot, or you're part of a cult, and somebody comes and challenges that, you'll defend it. Sometimes to the death, metaphorically speaking.
They have an obsession.
Say again, 10th man.
They have an obsession. If you take what Neil said, which has merit, and I take what you said, which has merit, until proof, we don't know if Neil's point is true or somewhere in between an obsession and Neil's point. So how many other topics on the internet have people trolling them the way we do? I'm sure there's more, right?
Yeah, I like it when other YouTubers whinge about the trolls that they get. They probably get 0.1% of the trolling that we get, right? We have become immune. Sleeping Warrior hopefully pipe in on this conversation, right? But we've become... Yeah, there you go. His mic's off. Go ahead, Sleeping Warrior.
I was just making a brew. I was receiving my delivery from Subway. Thanks, Ranty. It was interesting. I saw a comment from Ranty, and he said something like, "Get him to swear on the Bible." Right? I have a Bible. I own a Bible. I'm not religious. I'm neutral when it comes to religion. And the interesting point was, he said Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, Riley was on about them two swearing on the Bible. He should do it too. I don't think he understands that the reason why Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong were asked to swear on the Bible is because those two they're both men of faith. Neil Armstrong's a Christian guy and Buzz Aldrin's some kind of similar Christian. He's not an actual Christian. He's similar, but they're both religious, right?
No. You got this all wrong.
Go on.
Okay. Just like Nathan said to Neil, you don't know the motive. Now, many people who go to court put their hand on the Bible and they're told to swear on the Bible. Now, this is totally so crazy and ridiculous because the state doesn't even allow you to have a Bible in the schoolroom to teach anymore. And the official religion is atheism in college, basically. So now for them to put their hands on a book that they don't believe in and swear by it is the height of hypocrisy. So it's just a Photoshop image for the rest of America that does believe in the Bible so that you can say, oh, they must be telling the truth. Well, Neil Armstrong didn't tell the truth, and Buzz Aldrin definitely, with his pyramid hand signs, is not a Christian.
He is some kind of...
Yeah, well, that's why none of them wanted to put their hand on the Bible. I mean, Bart Sabro caught a fist to the mouth because he didn't put his hand on the Bible. So, and one of them was going to, and then when Bart Sabro told him, "Oh, this might be classified as treason if you're lying," he was like, "Oh, well then, no, I won't put my hand on the Bible." I mean, it's ridiculous.
Presbyterian. Buzz Aldrin is a Presbyterian, whatever that is. It's some spin-off.
No,
Christianity.
Hold on.
Okay.
There's more important things going on. The Bleeding Warrior sends £5 and says, if Sleeping Warrior puts his hand on a Bible and says he never bought subs or likes from a company, I will send in £100 super chat. Have you got your camera?
What?
I might earn £100
on
today.
Camera now.
You got your camera? You got your Bible?
I have the Bible, but I don't have the camera.
Oh, you're joking! Oh, God damn you!
No, he'll get him. He'll get him here.
I do have the Bible. It's here, but I don't have the camera set up yet.
That's useless. Let's move
Yeah,
on.
but Sleeping Warrior, I gave you Matthew chapter 5, right?
Well, yeah. So read Matthew. Let me read it. I'll read it.
Yeah.
I'll read it verbatim from this.
No,
Bible
this
that
is
I
no
have in
good.
my
I don't
hand.
want this. No, unless you've got a camera
No,
with
I
you
want
showing
to.
it,
I
I'm
want
not
to.
interested. No, I don't want you to read a passage from it to prove you've got your hand on the Bible. I want to see it.
No,
No,
no, it's not about that. It's about what it's about the words. Let me find it. What was the reference? Matthew what?
I think it was 534. I can't remember, but try that.
While
Okay,
you're looking it up, while you're looking that up, any evidence of the distance to the sun?
No.
It's over there.
Okay, Matthew 5:33. It says, "Oh, under the heading oaths." It says, "Again, you have heard that it was said to the people long ago, do not break your oath." In other words, if you say, I'm going to give someone all the super chats, that's an oath. So it says, do not break your oath, but keep your oaths you have made to the Lord. But I tell you, do not swear at all, either by heaven, for it is God's throne, or by earth, for it is his footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. And do not swear by your head. You cannot make even one hair white or black. Simply let your yes be yes and your no be no. Anything beyond this comes from the evil one. So because I'm being asked to do something beyond that, who is the evil one in this context? Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, but I might get $100 out of it.
Well, I can't show it. Yeah.
Well, I think if you delay this more, you'll get more than 100 pounds because every time Sleeping Warrior comes here, you're getting something. This can go on forever.
To be perfectly honest, right?
100 pounds now or 2 pounds a day?
That's what happens when I try and turn my camera on at the minute. I've just got a red screen because I don't actually have it attached. You'll have to double or quit next show. Whoever you are, Bleeding Warrior, make it 200 and I'll sort it. I'll make it happen.
Look, to be honest, I don't want your money for this. I've known Sleeping Warrior long enough, and I've said it a dozen times now. There is absolutely no way on God's green earth that Sleeping Warrior's bought subs. No, it just isn't.
How would I prove the negative anyway? Because like, if I showed a bank statement, right, and it's not on there, it doesn't mean I've not used somebody else's card to do it. I mean, what evidence could I ever produce that you would ever accept anyway?
You've already been asked. The standard's been laid down. Put your hand on a Bible. Your camera's now not working. Very suspicious, if you ask me.
It's not even. I don't even have it at this place. Right, I'll sort it. I'll sort it. If he doubles down on it and doubles it to 200, I'll make it happen the next time I'm in.
Sure, but like I say, it's for me personally. As much as I want £100, which I do.
Was it dollars?
This isn't necessary. I don't need to see you swear on the Bible that you haven't bought subs. Even before I'd even spoken to you when it was brought up, I was like, that's just a load of old nonsense.
I mean, my first thought was, what would be in it for me, right? And there is no obvious immediate answer. But Emma UK explained it to me. She said, nah, it's not about the subs, it's about the likes. He said, if you get subs, that tells people that there's something there to look at. And then they found the likes, and that controls the narrative. So it makes it look like you're winning. And I said, but it's not a popularity contest settled by YouTube, which is the paradox. So if you think that this is going to be settled by YouTube's popular consensus, then subs and likes are going to matter to you. And I don't really give a shit about them, right? But someone really really cares about them. I wonder why. It's got nothing to do with popularity on YouTube, guys.
Yeah, it's all about the
Well,
arguments.
That's what they would like it to be, instead of focusing on the loss of their radius.
Precisely.
The loss of their no Coriolis effect. Their no vacuum in space. They have to do all
Can you
this
hear me?
nonsense because of that.
Yes.
Yeah, we can
That's
hear you.
all this sounds like to me.
Yeah, chocolate.
Right.
Yes,
I wanted to offer an alternative theory concept as to the sub situation with Tony, because I could think of one single thing as to why this has happened, even though it's not literally happened, but just because this rumor has been spread that Sleeping Warrior has bought subs, which has no relevance to anything whatsoever. There's now a lot more talk about Sleeping Warrior, and that he could have potentially bought subs.
Exactly.
So
Chocolate
this is just an
exactly.
attention stunt, isn't it?
That's what Chocolate just said precisely, Arwen. I'm glad you went on to reiterate what Chocolate said. Perfect. Yes, exactly. Well, are we talking about the natural law violation that is the sky vacuum? No, we're talking about subs. Check it out. Bleeding Warrior. Ask him to swear on the Bible. No camera. It right now. I'll give you $20. Ah, what about 100? Oh. Hold on. Let me just finish. Hold on. Hold on. The guy has paid for a super chat. I will read it out. He needs to say, quote, I never paid a company for subs and likes, end quote. He's saying don't do it on a camera. You've got your Bible with you now. Read another quick passage from it to verify it if that's what he's satisfied with. And apparently that'll make me £20. Wonderful.
Right, I'll pick to one random one somewhere in the middle. Right, this one says, Job chapter 9, verse 2. Indeed, I know that it is true, but how can a mortal be righteous before God? Though I wished one to dispute with him, though one wished to dispute with him, he could not answer one. He could not answer him one time out of 1,000. Job 9, chapters 2 and verse 2 and 3. I did not. I never paid a company for subs and likes. 20 quid super chat right now.
You were going to say the Bill Clinton line, weren't you?
I was.
Yeah, he almost did.
It was, what was it? Job 9, was it?
9-2. Read it again.
Bleeding Warrior, just for the record, you don't have to give me $20 for that. Like I say, Rakia Life's giving me $100 anyway.
Wow.
Thank you very much for the super chat.
Again, just
shout out to Rakia Life. Hold on 1 second. I'll give you money not to swear on the Bible. God is good. There is power in his name, Rakia Life. Indeed, Rakia Life. And as I was just saying before you super chatted, there's no need to give me £20 for that. You know, Anthony's an honest guy. I know he's an honest guy. I don't need $20 or him swearing on the Bible, as I've said all along.
Let me read that paragraph again, just in case it happens to be relevant. It says, Indeed, I know that it is true, but how can a mortal be righteous before God? Though one wished to dispute with him, he could not answer him one time out of 1,000.
Interesting that you just opened the Bible and it's that verse.
Maybe I'm missing something. How is it relevant? Maybe I'm just not paying enough attention to what the words are.
Let me read it again. Indeed,
It's the first verse.
Indeed, that I know that it is true, but how can a mortal be righteous before God? In other words, are you saying that swearing on the Bible has no effect?
No.
We're
talking about how the scripture says, just let your yes be yes and your no be no, and don't be swearing on the don't swear. You don't, because that's you. Liars normally swear is the whole point. I swear I didn't steal that. Okay.
I don't read it as that. I hear what I heard in that is if you're going to try and imply that you are somehow a righteous being, you're not. Don't kid yourself. Before God, you're just pathetic. That's how I see it. Not the pathetic bit, but just by comparison, so people understand the context. So it's saying, don't pretend for 1 second that you're a righteous person. You're not. Nobody is.
No, I know. I wasn't commenting on that. I was commenting on the previous reading. And then he says, I'm just going to open up the Bible, randomly put my finger on it. And he goes to, what was it?
Job
9:2? Oh, Job. Oh,
Job.
you said Proverbs. Did you say
Are you
Job
going
or
to talk
Proverbs?
about flat Earth?
Yeah, I was just about to ask, any evidence that you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container to press upon?
Hang on a minute. He said that he still
Gradient.
he avoids it. I did exactly verbatim what you said. What did he
What's
say?
going on? He still never swore on the Bible. He avoids it. Yeah, he did.
He
Just
needs
didn't
to
see it on
say,
camera.
I never paid a company for likes and subs. That's exactly what I said.
This is what Raki is pointing out. This is now going to start poisoning this act. So, yeah, I agree with Dave. Look, he's saying, I'll give you money not to swear on the Bible. What we're doing now is we're belittling this because somebody's super chatting. It's pathetic. That said, smash the super chat, support this channel. Right, let's move on. The dude in the Discord channel. So, any evidence that you can have gas pressure without a container? I assume by your tone that you're a globehead who believes the sky's a vacuum.
You talk.
Keen to talk about nature of reality a minute ago, mate.
His sound's not coming through, Nathan.
My sound?
The guy talking.
Yeah, it is.
I don't hear it.
It's because he's not saying anything.
Oh,
Said, are you talking to me now?
You were the guy that said, are we going to talk about flat Earth?
Yeah.
Any evidence that the sky is a vacuum?
The sky isn't a.
Sorry, you're answering your own question then. Looks like we're not going to have a conversation about flat Earth then.
Well, he interrupted Job 9:2, and I wasn't done yet, and then he doesn't even talk.
10. You are taking the Bible in. Stop doing that.
Oh,
Sorry, you just asked us if we wanted to talk about flat Earth and you've immediately changed it back. I realise that 10th Man wants to, but I thought you wanted to talk about
Nathan,
the nature of the world
I
we're
didn't
living
change
in.
it back. It was 10th Man. I was just answering his query.
What?
Okay.
Can you talk
So, any evidence that the sky is a vacuum, dude?
about whatever it is that you want to?
I don't assert the sky is a vacuum, Nathan.
Do you believe you live
You
on a
do that.
sphere? Doesn't matter what you assert, it's part of the rhetoric.
It's part of your rhetoric.
No, it's not. I'm not a globe Earth believer. I don't think the sky is a
Well,
vacuum.
I've just said I don't assert it. And I don't
I-
think anyone else asserts
Did you hear
it.
my reply to that?
You
You
assert
don't need
it.
to repeat it. I replied. You just ignored my reply. Did you hear my reply when you said it the first time?
Nathan, you need to calm the fuck down. Sorry,
Stop
I swore
swearing at
again.
me. I'm not in any way uncalm. I'm asking if
Nathan,
you
just
heard
calm
my
down
response
and
and
answer-
now you're talking
Ask
through
a-
me,
ask a
presumably because
cogent
you want to
question,
wind me
Nathan.
up. It's becoming irritating. I've responded to you.
Is it winding
doesn't,
you up,
I'll try
Nathan?
again. It'll never succeed because you're triggered. So I'll try again. Let's see
I'm
how
not
I get
triggered.
on. And there he is interrupting me
You
again.
raised your
We've only
voice
been talking
slightly.
for 2 seconds and you've ignored my point. Now you're talking through my attempt to reassert the same point. Okay, mate, I'll try again. So it doesn't matter what you assert. It's part of the heliocentric rhetoric. It matters not that you haven't asserted it. That's part of the religion. So it doesn't matter. If you're a globe believer, that's part of your religion. Doesn't matter if you like it or assert it. It's part of the rhetoric. Maybe ignore it a second time. Let's see how we get on.
Could you repeat the question, Nathan?
It wasn't a question, it was a statement of fact. It matters not that you have not asserted that the sky is a vacuum. It's a fundamental premise of the heliocentric religion. If you are a globe believer, it is part of your religion whether you assert it or not. That's not a question, it's a statement of fact.
You asked me to answer the question.
Yeah, any evidence that the sky is a vacuum as per your religious belief? That we're on a sphere
You asked me
flying
that
through a
question,
vacuum?
and I said I don't assert it.
Well, that matters not if it's part of the religion. We're going
Well, if
round
you're
in circles.
asking me that question, it does matter, doesn't it, Nathan?
Oh, so you don't believe the sky is a vacuum then? Welcome to Flat
No,
Earth.
because the sky isn't a vacuum.
Yeah, we know. It can't possibly be a vacuum. That would be a violation of natural law. If the sky was a vacuum, as per the heliocentric religion of a ball in a vacuum, then the gas we're breathing would fill the space. So yeah, I agree with you. The sky is definitely not a vacuum.
It is not a vacuum.
Yeah, we agree. The heliocentric model has the sky as a vacuum, though, regardless of whether or not you assert it. It's good that you also agree the sky is not a vacuum as per the heliocentric religion, though. It's good that you agree.
I don't think well, I don't know about the heliocentric values, but
Well, then shut up. So why are you asking us to debate a subject you've got no clue about? And what, you think we care about your opinion? No, we don't. The heliocentric worldview is held by about 95% of the Western world. Your opinion matters not. It's just your one man's opinion about what you think the sky is. I don't assert my opinion about what the sky is. I've got an opinion. I don't assert it, though. There's no need. There is, however, a definite worldview religious assertion that the sky is a vacuum, regardless of whether or not you agree or disagree with that assertion. It's irrelevant. Your opinion of what the sky is doesn't matter to us.
no, I want a citation that 95% of the world believes it's a vacuum, Nathan.
That's part of the religious worldview of the heliocentric model. 95%, like all statistics, are pretty much made up on the spot. I think it's 66.4% of all statistics are actually made up on the spot.
Where's your citation, Sunshine?
It's part of the religion. You think I need to prove that 95% of the Western world believe the sky is a vacuum? 95% of the Western world would be anybody with a television set that is under the impression they're on a spinning ball flying through a vacuum. If I ask any man on the street if he believes in outer space, the answer's yes, because he's polluted with television shows that tell him the sky is a vacuum. I don't need to prove that that is part of the rhetoric. You're just a dumb idiot if you think that it's not part of the rhetoric to have a sky vacuum. Outer space is, according to your religion, the most powerful vacuum that you can have. Okay, mate? Doesn't matter whether or not you think I need to prove that that is the religious worldview of a globe believer. It is.
I'm not saying that.
I don't care what you're saying. Your opinion matters not to me. You're a dumb moron. It doesn't matter what you assert.
Whoa, whoa.
No, not whoa, whoa. It doesn't matter that your opinion differs from the heliocentric worldview. That matters not.
Nathan, scientists come on your show and they say they don't believe the sky is a vacuum.
Sorry, outer space is called a vacuum. It's a scale. At the top of that scale, for how powerful a vacuum is, outer space is right at the top of the list, just before something that doesn't exist and cannot be recreated, which would be a perfect vacuum. But the most powerful vacuum, according to the religious fundies who believe they're on a globe, is outer space. That's the most powerful vacuum. Now, it isn't. The sky can't possibly be a vacuum because the gas we breathe would fill that space if it was a vacuum. So it definitely isn't.
Nathan.
Sorry, mate, you're not addressing anything I'm saying. That would be to say that we are in agreement. The sky is not a vacuum.
The sky is not a vacuum.
Excellent. We are in agreement then. It's
Welcome
still
to
asserted
Flat
by the heliocentric model that it's a vacuum, even though you apparently are on that side and somehow trying to get me to prove that it's a vacuum. When I don't make that claim, I debunk that claim by pointing out that if it was a vacuum, as per the heliocentric religion, the gas we're breathing would fill the space.
Nathan, calm down and listen to what I'm saying. No one is asserting it's a vacuum. So
Yeah, they are. It's part of the heliocentric religion. So I keep telling
Guys,
you
for
that
real?
outer space is supposed to be a vacuum. That's part of your religion. It doesn't matter what your opinion is.
No, I'm saying you're asking.
Yeah, I know you're saying. We don't care what you're saying. You're a nobody. It doesn't change the religion of heliocentrism and its sky vacuum that you're saying you don't believe in. I don't care what you believe in. That's still part of the religious rhetoric of a sphere Earth.
Apparently, if I was a somebody,
Maybe this is simply the
The
next
sky-
step. Maybe this is the
if
next
I was a
step
somebody,
of-
would the
No,
sky
we
be a
never had
vacuum
a
or would it
sky
not be a vacuum? I
The
don't.
sky is not a
I don't-
vacuum. That violates natural law. So no, it doesn't matter who you are. You can't violate the second law of thermodynamics. It's inviolable. So no, the sky's definitely not a vacuum, regardless of the opinions or beliefs in a heliocentric model that says it is.
Nathan, I think you're triggered.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm really
Projected.
calm. Do you need me to stick my camera on just to show how calm I am? I'm groovy, mate.
No, Nathan, we
Not
can't
in the
handle
slightest
it.
bit
Not your
triggered.
triggered face. No.
Arwen, this guy is projecting.
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. Meanwhile, the sky is not a vacuum.
I like to ask him what the Carmen line is to him.
And you sound like a Kermit the Frog.
What's the
It's a
Carmen
good
line?
impression of Kermit, isn't it?
What's the Carmen line to you?
Who's this?
He's asking what the
I
Carmen
don't know.
line is.
This guy in chat sounds like a guy who just got
Why-
stepped
why
on
are you
the dick.
changing the
Doesn't know what
subject?
What's
to
the
do.
Carmen line?
I
in
didn't
your
ask
globe
about the
mean?
Carmen line.
No, you're being asked
I'm
about the
asking
Carmen
you.
line
Yeah, but why am I being asked about it?
because you said you
Why
don't
do
think
you
the sky
think-
is a vacuum, and therefore you're being asked about a
I
specific
don't think the
location.
sky is a vacuum.
I'm not through asking you a
And-
question.
and
Can
what
you
do
wait?
you
Can you
mean-
wait till
what
I
do you mean
finish?
by the
Can you
sky
wait till I
anyway?
finish speaking? Thank you.
What do you mean by the
Yeah,
sky?
that means shut up. So
Keep
you're
up with
being,
the
you're being
fire
sorry,
debate,
mate,
you
mate,
meatball.
I'm going to eject you if you
Listen,
continually
I
talk
was the
through
one
me.
who
I'm going to give you
started
one
the
last
flat earth
opportunity
debate
to
going
stop
again.
talking
You
through
were
me, then I'm
talking
going to
about
remove you.
Anti
This is your
Riley's
last chance
subs
to stop talking through
on
me.
a flat
Last
earth
chance.
debate show.
Last
Shut up,
chance.
Joel.
If you talk through this sentence,
Oh,
you're
last
going to be
chance.
removed.
Are you
Right,
gonna
that's
block
it.
me again,
Bye-bye.
Nathan?
Goodbye.
'Cause I actually don't care.
Goodbye. If you can't tolerate having a question's justification explained to you, then I'm going to remove you because all you're doing is causing a commotion, claiming that I'm triggered while you talk through every word that's put to you. So no, that's not going to be tolerated. Goodbye. Gave him plenty of opportunity to stop talking through me. He chose not to.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway,
That guy was
he
just
interrupted.
talking like he just got stabbed on the dick and didn't know what to do next. Had no more arguments.
Hey, clown.
Is that the circumdicular world he stepped on?
It shows up here.
Circumdicular worldview.
Okay, hold on. Let's hold off the Dick Earth jokes. I'll read out Bleeding Warrior Super Chat as he's paid £20 for it. Debate 1184, the one where Sleeping Warrior lied on the Holy Bible. Evidence, if needed, of how he will go. That God's name to him means nothing. All you is that Christians? Christians out there, remember this. The truth will be exposed soon.
Sure,
let me
Ranty.
let me share something. I had a talk with Sleeping Warrior before about this. Now, Sleeping Warrior has admitted he's not a follower of Christ, so he's not a Christian. So that last thing has no bearing. I shared with Sleeping Warrior what the Bible said about swearing, just so he would have context, because somebody asked him, I believe it was Ranty, to do it. So I said, well, if you're not even a Christian and you own the Bible, it doesn't even, I mean, what's there to say? Okay. So now the verse that he put his finger on that triggered this globy is very interesting in Job 9:2, and I'll finish up real quick here. The first statement, yes, I know this is true. In another version, indeed, I'm fully aware that this is so. In another version, I know it is so of a truth. And then I'll finish up here. So what, hang on, I just lost my place. I know verily that it is so. In the first statement, the guy is just saying a statement. He's not swearing. He's just said, this is true, this is true, this is true. He's not swearing. It's interesting that he put his finger on something that someone could swear to as the truth, but doesn't swear. That was uncanny, wonderful. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sleeping Warrior.
Yeah, the bit that Ranty misses is that because the two guys that were being asked to swear in the Bible were religious, it means something to them, two people individually. But I don't consider myself to be religious, even though I have a Bible. I don't consider myself to be religious. I don't read it. I have it because it was given to me when I was a kid. But it doesn't have the same effect if you're not a guy of religion. So that's like me swearing on the Quran. I'm not a Quran worshipper or follower, so it's not going to have any effect. Just saying.
We got some funny memes in Master B, but I'd like to go on the other thing I posted there once you're ready, Nathan.
Yeah, sure.
You want to show the memes first?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I've got the 8 more subs for Riley up already.
Hey!
And then let's just stick this one up. This one says, Subway, pick and mix subs for Riley. A whole shop full.
Can somebody do something about my number of subs? Because I'm still set at 70-20, exactly like the last 2 months.
70-20?
Yeah,
70-20,
exactly.
Bitch, find your own street corner. This is my corner.
Shut up.
70-20.
Shut up, fool. I run for you.
Owen, do you mean that you dropped below 1,000?
I got 1,720 subs, and it has been exactly 70-20 for the last 2 months.
This isn't going to end. Subscribe to Arwin. He does a show every single day. He does it at 1 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Amsterdam time. That's 1 hour before Flat Earth Debate daily, Monday to Sunday, every single day. So be here or be sphere for Flat Earth Early Bird. That's on the Arwin channel. ARWIJN.
Thank you, Nathan. Appreciate it. Yeah, today I actually had like live underground journalism. Like Rast, I was in the middle of like this weird police situation in the background. So yes, you never really know what happens on the Early Bird show. Could just be me talking, passionately or a bit bored maybe, and sometimes all kinds of things happen.
And that's on Arwin. Hold on. ARWIJN. So if you're watching this on a MP3 or listening to us on MP3, you can find him by spelling ARWIJN.
So, Nathan, if you notice, I put a few pictures and then a website. The website is National Geodetic Survey website. And when you go to that, it says hybrid geoid models, gravimetric geoid models, hybrid deflection of vertical models, and gravimetric deflection of the vertical models. That's on the actual website. Then I put the pictures, screenshots. If you see those, let me know.
Yeah, I've got east-west deflections currently up.
Yeah, there's the map.
You want the map up? Okay, yeah, got that up.
Well, just show the map first, and then we'll read the little segment.
Okay, it's up.
Okay, so he's all right. Is that the one I showed? I see something there, but that's Arwin's channel. What's
Yeah, that was just me showing I got 70-20 subscribers.
Yeah, I'm not presenting
so
it in the Hangout. It's going out to the audience. So I've got this NGS.
I got you.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to read the first thing underneath it, and this is from NOAA. East-West Deflections Vertical ETA USDO whatever 2009 is a companion product derived from the 209 gravimetric geoid model, keyword model, and represents the deflections of the vertical at the surface of the Earth. These quantities are typically a few arc seconds, but can reach an arc minute of departure. The deflection of vertical is the departure of a plumb bob's actual pointing from the ellipsoidal normal direction. Deflections are used to relate the orientation of a locally leveled instrument, such as a theodolite, to a spatial reference system, and on and on and on about zenith thing. So this was interesting coming off the last few shows about plumb bob and local measurements. It's all models.
Did you want the last slide as well? There's one more before Riley subs.
I mean, it's there. It just talks about the same thing. I just wanted to show that in one sentence, they bring in models because it's not reality. Then they say it's a departure from plumb bob's actual pointing from the ellipsoidal normal direction. It's very interesting coming off the last few shows about how geodetics and what they do with their tangential plane. I thought you might have a kick seeing it, that they actually saying it's not a plumb bob, but it should be.
I love it. Yeah, perfect. Still got a couple of housekeeping questions, if anybody doesn't object. Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Nope.
Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
The scientific hypothesis?
Is there any other kind?
Well, if they're going to follow the scientific method, that stops with observation in those fields, right? Because they can't manipulate the independent variable.
That's correct. It doesn't change the fact that they have the banner of science above their door. So in this context, while you might state, when I say, is there any other context? Well, no, not in this particular variety. They need science. They're claiming to be science. So they're going to need scientific hypotheses, not colloquial ones.
Nope.
Well, at least we got through all the housekeeping questions.
Yay.
Shout out to Nathan's apprentice for getting the Molten Iron core in there.
Nathan, can you hear me?
Yes. Hey, Nathan Thompson. Clear as crystal for a change.
Hey, Nathan.
Excellent. I just wanted to say one more thing about the Bible thing. I mean, even if you are religious, guys, asking someone who's religious to swear on a book that says not to swear is pointless. Because if they're really religious, they'll say, well, my Bible tells me not to swear. So it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't, because they can say, well, you won't swear on the Bible. Well, because my Bible tells me not to swear. So, but I'm glad we got through the housekeeping questions. I wasn't trying to be redundant. I just thought that was important.
You know who else says that? I think it's Issa Mihalski that was the first to highlight that. So check out Issa Mihalski. Quantum Racer pointed out the other day that you called him a terrorist sympathizer, which is where he got that term from. He got it from you describing Issa Mihalski. Shout out to Issa, he's a great guy.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Issa Mihalski, yeah. A terrorist sympathizer. Where were we before we got sidetracked?
Nathan Thompson just pointed out that you shouldn't swear on a book that's specifically outlined in the book that you shouldn't swear on it. He's just reiterating that point.
Yeah, and the whole reason they're even talking about it is because they got their R value destroyed, space is fake, it's a cartoon, they have a goofy religion, and we point it out every single day, and I think you're some of the best in the world at it. Congratulations!
Oh, thank you very much.
That's what's up, Nathan.
For those of you who don't know who Nathan Thompson is, Nathan Thompson's on the cutting edge of gritty exposure of this subject.
If anyone's on Facebook, I run the official Flat Earth and Globe discussion. There's 134,000 members according to the algorithms, but I don't trust those either. So anyone counting subs is wasting your time. Guys, come on, wake up. This is insane what's going on right now. So if you trust these algorithms and think subs are important, I feel sorry for you right now.
I'll give you $20 to put your hand on the Bible and prove you didn't buy those algorithmic subscribers.
Shout out to Geoparty.
Quick shout out to Cleary. All of the subs came from the 200 members of the Jupiter-sized Earth Society.
Brilliant. Oh,
Nice.
that's so good.
That's classic. Shout out to Cleary.
There's
Thank you
probably
very
a
much.
lot more population, on Jupiter-sized Earth.
Cleary actually does some good
What
videos.
do you mean Jupiter-sized?
I'm just trying out Cleary. Oh, one second.
About 43,000 miles. The radius of the Black Swan, if taken at 10 miles, that's 264,000 miles.
Yeah, it's much bigger than
Big
Jupiter.
difference.
It's the orbital path of the moon. That becomes the R value, or the circumference would be the orbital path of the moon, as claimed in the heliocentric model. So it's not just a tiny little difference. The Black Swan, if it's still going to be a geometric horizon, as opposed to we don't see the geometric horizon, then yeah, you've got a globe Earth that's the size of their claimed path that the moon takes.
Well,
It's
then,
actually
Nathan,
slightly
that
bigger.
would take care of the space in between.
Yeah, that would all be Earth. But like I say, it's actually slightly bigger than that orbital path, but that's the closest, thing that you can visualize.
Oh, that was a stab at the previous scholar who got kicked off when he says he didn't believe in the space. Whereas
Yeah, exactly.
covered the orbit.
Just another shout out to Cleary. Cleary's also a YouTuber, so he does some really good pieces to camera. He's on camera basically sharing his thoughts. Good guy, check him out. So go subscribe to Cleary. With that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you, first and foremost, to both Discord and G Plus panels for making today's live show possible. If you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, or Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. As I say, if you are watching this live, this is where we bid you farewell. Huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Once again, stay tuned if you're watching on a premiering stream. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!